Let's go to the secondary, y'all. Before we get to this, we got secondary and then special teams, and then what we'll do is take a break, and then we'll preview the Panthers. Panthers. Preview the first game against the Lions. So with secondary, my notes are a lot of rotating, multiple position battles. Cornerback 1 and 2 are set from most of what I've seen. First string, AJ Terrell and Mike Hughes. I think we're going to roll out there with Mike Hughes. I wanted us to kick the tires on Asante Samuel Jr. and then make Mike Hughes kind of like a dime back where he can just kind of be the safety cornerback hybrid type player because I think he's really good at that. But if you have an effective pass rush, you could put him at the cornerback number 2 and be just fine. So those two are penciled in as the starters. What's interesting is Clark Phillips was supposed to be fighting for the nickelback position with D. Alford and Billy Bowman. Apparently that's not doing too well because they've moved him almost exclusively to the outside, which he can play. Again, Clark Phillips was super aggressive when he did play, when he was forced into action. He's just undersized, and at times that can get the best of him against bigger, faster wide receivers. But his technique is outstanding. He's very aggressive. But at the end of the day, you went from a nickelback, which is, I believe, a 2-person race, right, to outside corner, which is like a 6-person race, right? So you got AJ Terrell and Mike Hughes. You have Clark Phillips battling, Natrone Brooks, who's turned eyes, Lamar Jackson, who's turned heads, and then you also signed Keith Taylor, who is a 6'3" cornerback, and the measurables just make it intriguing by itself. Not to mention, you got what is viewed as the steal of the undrafted free agency pool in Kobe Bryant, who has played pretty well since coming off the physically unable to perform list. Matter of fact, after his first day, which he got his first day at training camp, Kobe Bryant had to guard Drake London. So much for you wanting to guard Jamar Chase. Drake London was cooking your lunch, boy. But again, it was his first day. It is what it is. Since then, they've been talking about the plays he's made. He had a pass breakup, and he had an interception of Kirk Cousins. So he's been pretty good now that he's gotten his sea legs. The nickelback position is probably going to be the most intriguing to see. It has now been whittled down to D. Alford and Billy Bowman almost exclusively. D. Alford, Cinderella story. I don't know if he was undrafted, but I know he must have been a low draft pick. But we brought him in either way. He fought his way up the roster, and he just balled out in the preseason one year and never looked back. Played really well. Last year, like everybody else, it was a struggle for him on defense. Kind of backslid a little bit. In comes Billy Bowman. See, the thing about backsliding at your position and not having a good year following up a good year, or not having a good follow-up to a good year, is that normally won't be as damning if the coach's job security is okay. With Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot basically on the hot seat, we don't have time to see if you're going to be good, if you're going to round back into shape. You messed up all year, bringing in your replacement. In comes Billy Bowman. Billy Bowman, 5'11", 5'10", 5'11", 4'3", 40. Great tackler, really good in space. Clearly the number 2 corner nickelback right now, but he's not far behind D. Alford. And if Billy Bowman can take that position from D. Alford and make D. Alford the dime back, all of a sudden we look kind of crazy. If he's good. If not, you still can go back to D. Alford. But I expect Billy, out of all the rookies that were drafted, Billy Bowman probably has the best opportunity to start at nickelback or start, period. Jalen Walker and James Pierce probably won't start. And then you have Kobe Bryant won't start. Maybe Billy Bowman. He probably has the best. He or Xavier Watts have the best chances to start. Speaking of Xavier Watts, let's go ahead and move over to the safeties. Xavier Watts is in a full-fledged battle for the starting position over safety opposite Jesse Bates. Watts and Fuller are rotating at the first with the first string, the ones and twos. I think Jordan Fuller was in days 1 and 2 was with the first string. Days 3 and 4, it was Xavier Watts, and they keep going back and forth. Jesse Bates has already come out and said Xavier Watts reminds him of himself and the fact that he studies a lot and he's very good at communicating. He just has to understand the scheme. James Pierce Jr., Rook Oro both said Xavier Watts, every time they see him in a play, he's coming downhill, right? He is filling the box and making plays. The thing for him, and I think the thing for most rookies, is making sure that you understand the scheme. So a battle between Xavier Watts and Jordan Fuller is taking place right now. What's interesting is that battle is taking place, but the second string is pretty much taken care of, or the backup safety in DeMarco Hellams. You remember Hellams was having a great preseason and early part of the season, and then he got hurt. He was out for the year. Luckily, or silver lining, is he got hurt at the beginning of the year. So it's been 12, 14 months since he's played. It's been 12 months and he's back, and apparently he's making a big deal. Not only has he forced a fumble, he's had a couple pass breakups as well of the first team. So you know the team loves him because he plays defense very well at safety, and he plays special teams. So look for Hellams to get a lot of playing time in the preseason, and I expect for him to make a move. So our nickelback and our safety opposite Bates are what you probably need to look for in the preseason going for 1, 2, and 3. Games 1, 2, and 3, right? That is going to be, this preseason is going to be fun. I can't wait to see what happens with us and how our depth chart plays out. Remember, mark your calendars. There will be a 53-man roster special once all preseason games are done, where we'll try to predict the roster and those that don't make it and those that sign with the practice squad. Oh, shout out to Jesse Bates, too. Missed that note. Taking on more of a mentor role. Worked with Kobe Bryant, has worked with Xavier Watts about being professional and how to film study, and he has 3 laptops up and blah. Everybody's raving about Jesse Bates, which is exactly what our young team needs. So shout out to Jesse as well. Number 1 safety in football, according to everybody.